People have so enjoyed traveling back in time with you so many times over. Where do you want to travel back in time to, or travel in the future perhaps to next? Because you're someone who really seems to have a passion for it.
That's interesting what you said, because I sometimes think that I should make a movie on. It's a genre that I like, which is science fiction.
Yeah.
And moving into the future or moving to outer space is something that is interesting.
Yeah.
I think our audiences are now getting ready for
Absolutely.
science fiction.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm going to do it next,
Yeah.
but that thought is in my mind now.
Absolutely, and I can somehow imagine Hrithik being really great, like even in outer space. I think Hrithik's good looks will be great anywhere, but is he someone who you'd want to actually have on board in case it's an out there space kind of film?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because he anyway has done a Krish,
Yes, absolutely.
which is a superhero. I would think it's a fantasy / science fiction. It's a
Yes,
combination of both,
yes.
which is very well done.
Yeah.
And he's been very good in it. I would like to do it with him. Yeah.
Absolutely. And of course you're someone going back to the past. That is of course something that going back to the past really requires so much kind of getting into it, so much of research, and that's something that you seem to be rather passionate about. Of course some people have had some sort of criticisms with regards to Mohenjo Daro this time. What do you want to tell those people out there? Because obviously you must have done your homework and research, knowing the kind of director that you are. So what would you like to say to the so-called critics of the historical inaccuracies apparently in it?
No, it's not just critics. I would say that even within historians, there's a lot of debate. Archaeologists are still debating with each other about their interpretations. Now, keeping that in mind, when I make a movie, I have to select one path, one chain of thought. And I'm following Jonathan Mark Canoyer's path, who's the leading archaeologist who's worked at Mohenjo Daro and Harappa for 35-40 years. So when you have a viewer who views the trailer and feels something is not in sync, he probably might be following another archaeologist's thought.
Yeah.
And so it's all about speculation, because this civilization is all about speculation. After the hard findings are just the urban development, the way the streets and the entire grid pattern or the drainage system, seals and some jewelry and all of clay dolls. That's all that we have. The rest has to be imagined.
Yeah.
So if this is 10%, 90% is something that you have to imagine. So one has tried to keep a blend between the fact and the fiction. Because if you do more fact, it'll straight categorize as a documentary. And if you do more fiction, it'll straight categorize as a fantasy film. And I don't want either. Because I somewhere want it to be a kind of a peak, just a small little drop
Yeah.
into seeing what this civilization was.